Awesome. So, hello everyone, and welcome to Azure Kubernetes Day. And I'm so glad to be here. And it's awesome that 1400 people are live on a Saturday morning Indian time and watching. Actually, people are watching throughout the globe, so it's really exciting, and I'm looking forward to this. So, I'm Sayyam Pathak, working as Director of Technical Evangelism at Civo, and this is my Twitter handler. Sayam Pathak, so you can follow me. I tweet a lot about tech, the new tech, and I'm a CNCF ambassador, Docker community leader, Influx Ace. I run a YouTube channel, so youtube.com/c/Sayam911, where I go live with other community leaders, discuss about tech, go deep dive into the sessions, and also go live with the co-founders to see from where grounds up the organizations have started and reached to success. These are some of the streams. I mean, there are more. And recently, I wrote a book as well. It's not even a week, so it's 4 days back. I wrote a book on Let's Learn CKS scenarios. So it's basically for Kubernetes CKS certification. And this is the link, gum.co/CKS book. Or you can just find, CKS, Kubernetes, Sayyam, Gumroad, something on Google and make the search. And the coupon is first 100, 50% discount. I think only 20 to 25 coupons are left for this. So make sure you purchase if you are preparing for CKS. There are questions, detailed solutions, and there are 2 packs that you can buy. So if you are into Kubernetes CKS certification, you can have that. So today we are here to talk about Azure Arc, and very interesting topic. I was really fascinated when it was launched at Ignite 2019, where Azure went a step ahead with the hybrid cloud and the multi-cloud approach. So Azure Arc is Microsoft Azure offering, which allows you to connect actually servers, Kubernetes clusters, and even run the data services on anywhere on any infrastructure. So, but for this particular demo or this particular talk, we'll be focusing on connecting Kubernetes clusters. And let me give you a brief overview first. What happens is in our day-to-day world, so we have developers who develop the applications. Now there are various frameworks to develop the applications. Now in the containerized world, developers are developing the applications which are containerized based. They are running the application on across various infrastructures. So right now there is a lot of offerings available to run your application. You can run the application on servers, on bare metals, on Kubernetes clusters, which can run on maybe your home lab or on a data center, or maybe any public cloud, which can be any. So there are a lot of public clouds now that are offering the Kubernetes service. So you can run multiple multiple applications in multiple Kubernetes clusters across various infrastructure across the globe. So this is happening. This is actually happening now. Now is the time where people are not tied to a single infrastructure. People are not tied to a single vendor. People are using the best of the breeds of all the clouds and trying to manage it from maybe a single control plane, or they want a solution which connects them all. So for this, Azure launched Azure Arc. It is still beta, so it's not it's not a fully matured service, but it has grown over time a lot in the past 1 year, and it helps you connect. So let's see here. So this is suppose Azure Arc, and you have your maybe a Kubernetes cluster running in the data center or other public clouds, and in Civo. So Civo offers a K3s managed K3s Kubernetes cluster that you can provision under 2 minutes. So like I was saying, you can use the best of all the clouds. And so if you want to run the workloads very quickly and you want to use the best of Civo, you create a Civo cluster and you can run your workload over here. Now the point is, you are an existing Azure customer, and you still want, and you also have your data center where you are running some of the workloads, and you have chosen Civo to run another set of workloads. But you have Azure account and you want to manage, mostly you are using Azure services, you are very comfortable with the Azure Resource Manager, Azure policies, all the monitoring, logging solutions that are available, and you want to expand that to other infrastructure, other of your infrastructure where your application is running. So Azure Arc provides you to control any Kubernetes cluster from a single place. So you will be having Azure portal and you will be having Azure Arc. You will be able to connect any Kubernetes cluster to Azure. And so in the demo also, we'll see that. So we'll be connecting CO K3s cluster to Azure, and you will be able to manage that and perform all the operation policies, etc. on Azure. So this is on a very high level what Azure Arc offers. Now, why it's exciting? It's exciting because you get the power of an existing a very mature cloud provider to manage Kubernetes clusters across infrastructure. And you get the ability to choose the best out of all the infrastructures where you want to run the app. So you're not tied to a vendor. And there are a lot of features now. Let's talk about the features what Azure Arc provides. It's not only like you just connect the clusters and you can see them, okay, and it's fine. So, but what exactly it offers? So let's see what it offers. So first is GitOps and Flux. I really like this. Now GitOps is on a very layman or very simple terms, I would say, just there's a Git repository. You have some YAML files over there, and your application, I mean, you are able to pull the code and deploy it to your Kubernetes cluster. So this is the GitOps model, and any change in the GitHub repository, your new version of the application or the changes get deployed to the Kubernetes cluster automatically. So there is there should no manual intervention should be there. So if there's a change in the master branch or the main branch, and you have pushed the code, so it should automatically be deployed to Kubernetes cluster. Now, Azure Arc can help you implement GitOps using the open source technology Flux to implement GitOps and deploy applications to the clusters which are not AKS or not created on Azure infrastructure. So you can use a CO K3s cluster. You can create that, connect it to Azure Arc, then enable GitOps. You are done. Now this particular application from the GitHub repository where it is there, it will be deployed to this particular cluster using Azure Arc. I mean, this is how effective it is. Now this is only one feature. Now let's go to other one. Running data services anywhere. This is also very niche feature. So you can run MySQL, Postgres, managed databases, and you can use the power of Azure Data Studio, and they will run. I mean, there are certain specific steps and the requirements that comes on the page when you try to run data services on the servers which are not present in Azure infrastructure. So you will have to maybe create a namespace or run some agents first so that it gets connect to Azure services, and then able to create Postgres proper definition. The CRD, basically the controllers will be going on. So there's a concept of operators, custom resource definition in Kubernetes. So that will be there. So you create a custom resource of Postgres or MySQL, whatever database you want to use, deploy that onto the Kubernetes cluster. It will be able to connect. Then you will be able to use Azure Data Studio, and you will be able to use that to manage your Azure managed database services on the Kubernetes cluster, which is not on Azure. You understanding, right? I mean, so many things are happening in this place. So Kubernetes cluster is not running in Azure, but still you are able to use Azure, some of the Azure services and features to manage them and get more insights out of your infrastructure. Let's see another one. This is also very great feature, governance using Azure policy. So a lot of time happens where you have servers. Okay, this one, yeah, where you have servers. You have your K8s cluster, K3s clusters, and all these things. By the way, in Azure, you can connect servers, legacy systems running on bare metals, Windows, because Azure, it's Windows, so it has very good compatibility over there. A lot of Linux, almost all the Linux distributions you can manage using the Arc. Now, let's say you have you have onboarded 10 Linux servers. Now, what happens is you can create something which is called Azure policies. Now, there are tons of Azure policies, which I'll show you in the demo. So Azure policies helps you to manage or audit or govern what all infrastructure you are onboarding to Azure Arc. For example, SSH access is disabled. So this particular, say that this is Azure policy, and you have applied it across all the servers. Now, as soon as you get a new server and this is not compliant, so in the portal, in the Azure Arc, you will be able to see a compliance issue. So you will get to know what are the compliances that you want to follow and where and all it is failing. Sorry, where and all it is failing. So governance using Azure policies, infrastructure compliance is a really good feature that Azure provides. Azure Arc provides. Now this is both the diagrams are taken from the Azure documentation, and this is Azure Arc, and you have this Visual Studio and all that. So you are able to connect securely to run the Postgres MySQL on your multi-cloud infrastructure. You are able to connect the Azure Stack and the edge devices. You are able to connect any hardware and the on-premise solution to Azure. So Azure Arc, again, another thing. So you have Azure Resource Manager, Azure Portal, Azure Policy, CLI, and much more that you can access, basically the monitoring solutions as well, the logging solution as well. So you can manage them, and it will help you to so this is you are the customer, you have the tools, and you get a single plane, cloud native practices, security compliance, RBAC, all the resources are there in Azure you can use for your infrastructure that you connect with Azure Arc. So that's how it is on a very high. I mean, summarizing this, Azure Arc, auditing Azure Arc resources, auditing using Azure Arc, then GitOps, Azure Monitor integration, tagging and querying. So you can tag all the resources and then you can query on the basis of the query manager over there. Single management view. Yes, you get a single management view. Connect any servers, connect any Kubernetes cluster, run data services anywhere. So you are getting the point, right? So many things, so many benefits from Azure. You are able to get I mean, you are able to connect all the infrastructure and you are able to use the best features out of your hardware, your data center, or any other public cloud vendor, and you can still use Azure Arc services if you want to use all these features and have a single control plane, control view, management view of all your infrastructure, whether it's servers, whether it's Kubernetes cluster, and also it gives you to run the data services on your infrastructure. So this is the Kubernetes day, Azure Kubernetes day. So the demo we'll be doing is connecting the Kubernetes cluster to Azure Arc, and what it will do is it will install some of the agents. So obviously when you think of connecting an infrastructure that is a piece of infrastructure that is running on your hardware or your data center or any other public cloud, but it is separate from Azure. Now what happens is, in order to connect it to Azure, so this is your infrastructure and this is Azure. So in order to connect this piece of infrastructure to Azure, there has to be some agents that has to be deployed. Similarly, it will deploy these set of deployments in Azure Arc namespace. So like the config agent will be there that monitors the connected cluster for updates, compliance state, source control. Then the controller manager is there, orchestrate interaction between Azure Arc components. Then the metrics agent is there to have the to collect the metrics and optimize the performance and other things. Then cluster metadata operator gather cluster metadata, including the version, node count, and all these things, so that it can show you on the control plane. And resource sync data syncs the cluster metadata to Azure. If you are scaling up, scaling down, adding nodes, changing the labels, all those things has to be synced back as well. Then you have cluster identity operator, maintains the certificate for managed identities for Azure resources. And flux log agents collect logs from the flux operators that deploy as part of source control configurations. So this is what will be getting deployed. I just wanted to tell you about all these so that you have a fair bit of understanding, like what all is getting deployed to the cluster and what is the need for each of the component with respect to Azure Arc. And now let's move on to demo. So we have demo time, and we'll be connecting CO K3s cluster to Azure. Now I'll keep this setup aside, and I'm gonna have to type now. Cool. So let's go here. So what we have right now, this is by the way, this is a fairly new thing that we'll be launching to the customers probably next week. So I'm basically, this is the first preview as well. So we have a new region in New York right now, and these are the Kubernetes clusters that I have created already. Let it refresh. So I have 2 clusters out of this. I think the one CO Azure, I haven't actually applied any configurations, but we can check that. Let's see. Okay, so we don't have any Azure Arc namespace. That is fine. What we'll do is, so one cluster is already running, and let's create another one also because I want to show you 2 things. I have 14 minutes. So I want to show you by the CLI method as well and by the UI as well, so that you have the understanding of both. So let's create another one. CO Azure E. It's maybe a medium. I don't know whether I have quota. I should be having it. See. Okay, it's creating, so that's fine. So let it create, and let's move on to Azure Arc. So now what we have is this is the portal.azure.com. I am in the Azure Arc service, and these are some of the overview features. Add your existing infrastructure, deploy Azure Data Services anywhere, view all of your Azure Arc resources. Now this particular service is actually this particular service. So you can see I already have connected some of my infrastructures from already to Azure Arc, and it has the type, the location, and the resource group, and all that stuff. So let's add a thing. Now let's add an infrastructure. So we want to add the infrastructure. Now it asks what you want to add. You want to add servers, you want to add Kubernetes cluster and SQL. So these both are in preview. So they are not the generally, not the stable one, I would say. So because the preview means there will be changes and which will be for the good based on the feedback of the users. And this one is out of preview. This one you can use for the servers, but we'll be using today this Kubernetes clusters preview. So let's click add. Okay. Now, some of the base things that you have to do. You need to have Azure CLI. You need to connect your connect to the cluster. Your Azure CLI basically should be connected to Azure portal. You need to have some of the CLI extensions like connected K8s and K8s configurations. You need to have Helm 3, and you need to have kubeconfig file to connect to the cluster. Very simple things. So I think we already have things. So these are the kubeconfig files. So we'll be using CO3 one. I think I'm using, yeah. So CO3 one do not have anything applied. So we'll be using CO3. And let's go back. Oops. Yeah. Kubeconfig file. So we have all these things. So let's go to next. We select the resource group. So I already have a resource group created. You can see the resource group you can create your own resource group. It's fine. Now is the Azure Arc cluster details. You have to give a cluster name. So let's say we gave awesome event, just like that. So we give this name. We select the region. And outbound proxy, you can is the cluster behind the proxy, so you can give that proxy details as well. It's publicly accessible, so I don't have to give. Next comes the tag. You can give different tags. I already have created a tag called cloud, and I'll give it as CO. And then it asks you to run the script. So this is already done. We already have the account set. Now what we'll do is we'll run this command. But I cannot run this as it is because I have to run it against kubeconfig file this. So if you go down, there is a small check that is given. You can use --kubeconfig flag to provide the kubeconfig file. So we give CO3. Now what is happening? what is happening is it is using the connected K8s. Obviously, it is in preview. It may change or removed, whatever that is. But right now, as of now, this is the command to connect your existing Kubernetes cluster to the Azure Arc. So if you come here, soon you will be seeing a new namespace getting created in the cluster, which is CO3. And here it will create a new namespace. So this takes about a minute or so. And in a minute it will be ready, because it has all the resources I told you will be deployed in this particular namespace itself. So it should apply these set of resources. So all these resources will be deployed in the Azure Arc namespace. And also we have our another cluster running. So meanwhile, we download the config file for that. So you can see it creates under less than 2 minutes. So CO maybe 1, 2, 3, let's do 4. Okay, so we have this. Now what we do is, yeah, so Azure Arc namespace has been created 27 seconds ago, and we can see kubectl get pods -n Azure Arc, and then the kube config gets to see the resources. All these containers are container creating, the thing that I told you. Let me just zoom in a bit so that it's visible to you all. So you can see kubectl get pods, and it is container creating, and it is again container creating few of them. Now all of the pods are running. So we have successfully connected, and here now, after all the pods are running, it will take another few seconds, I think, to give output that the cluster is in connected state. In the meanwhile, we can also check now the other cluster. So what we'll do is have this gist, and so whatever we did with the CLI, whatever we did with the UI, I'll also do with the CLI. Yeah, so you can see the cluster is registered, so it's finished, and this is the certificates and all that thing that gets generated as a JSON. So it tells me that everything is perfectly fine. I can go here, I can go next verification, and I can just close it. I can go to Azure Arc and just do a refresh. Where it is? Okay, I'll do a refresh from here. So you can see awesome event cluster is there. Now, these are the things that I was telling about. You can apply. So we have 6-7 minutes still there. So let me just now accelerate my speed a bit. So these are the policies. So policies, I told you, is for the governance. And we can see that there is one policy which is already applied. So this one policy that I created already, which is SSH access from the internet should be blocked. Since it is COK3S, we don't provide SSH access, so it is blocked, so it is 100% compliant. And what you can do is, if you want any additional policies that you want to apply, you can go to the policies, you can assign policy, and you can assign basically select all the clusters, and you can save them, and you can then create the policy definition. And you can see there are 499 policies already available that you can choose from to apply across all your infrastructure, that will help you to give you the governance, the auditing on your infrastructure, whether it is compliant to whatever the security needs that your organization needs. So I think that's a really cool feature, and it should be used. So that's how it gets used. Next awesome feature is GitOps. So let's explore this. So in this particular awesome event cluster, what we'll do is we'll add a configuration. This is the GitOps configuration. Internally beneath, see, the operator type getting used is called Flux. They might change in future, but I think Flux does a decent job. So configuration name, we can just give the same, and the namespace, let's give demo. Repository URL is github.com/im1814/Azure Arc. Just let me check that. So yeah, it's Azure Arc, and it's a simple voting application by Azure. And so it creates all the namespace, the deployment, and everything. It should create. And whatever we can choose, namespace level, cluster level, any parameters. So okay, I did spelling wrong. So it's good that I checked. immediately. GitHub.com, so Azure Arc. Awesome. Looks good to me. Hope it works. So I have added the configuration over here. Now what we'll do is, if I do a refresh, we can see the configuration has come over here. What will happen in some time is it should create a namespace. kubectl, yeah, it's CO3. Now that, yeah, we should see the namespace. So it should create a new namespace in a minute when it gets synced. Basically, it will apply the Flux. It will apply the Flux agent, which will be able to establish the Flux connection, and then it will try to pull the code, apply it to the cluster, create all the resources that are there. That is the namespace and all that stuff. So that will be happening in the backend. Meanwhile, since this is happening, what we'll do is let's run the CLI commands and see how it works. So we'll go here, we'll do Azure connected case list or wide. So this will show the connected clusters, which looks good for now. And let's now connect the cluster using the CLI. So just we did for CO3. So let's connect the CO4 one. And the name should be demo CO. I hope I haven't used demo CO name. Yeah, I haven't used the demo CO name, so that should be fine. And there it is. And then when it is when this particular thing is connected, we can just so you can see, let's go back. So I'm switching back and forth, but you should be having a fair understanding. So this is the CO3 cluster, and you can see 45 seconds ago, demo namespace got created. Why it got created? Because demo namespace is there. We have the demo namespace. In the demo namespace, all the resources will be applied. How I can say that? Because you can see operator namespace is demo. So all the pods will be deployed in the demo namespace. And in some time, this should the pending should change to install. So we can just see kubectl get pause in the namespace demo. You can see that the pods are running already, so which is good. And soon this should be changed to installed. I think it might be installed. Yeah, so it's installed. So it might take some time to sync the state of the cluster with the Azure Arc. That runs in the every operator cycle, that it checks the status every few seconds, and now it's getting refreshed. So this is how you can implement GitOps. So we have implemented GitOps, we have implemented policies, we have connected the cluster using UI, and we have connected the cluster using the CLI. It is still getting connected. We have 2 minutes. I think it will be connected in 2 minutes, so which is fine. But all in all, what happens is you can connect the servers, you can connect the Kubernetes cluster, you can run create the SQL Server Azure Arc cluster in in the server details, and then you can run the script. So it will tell you all these things that you have to run for a particular server where you have to run this, so that you can run your SQL server on the infrastructure of your choice. So which I think again cool. Another thing, all these resources you can manage from single plane. Another great thing is the pricing. Yes, you can check the pricing. For now, I think the control plane is free. Yes. So Azure Arc Extend Single Control Plane to bring services is offered at no additional cost. So this particular thing is not causing additional cost. But if you use any additional services from Azure, like the policy, monitor, and all that, they will incur a cost. So basically, you can you can monitor as well some of the clusters. So you can enable the monitoring. So this is the insight preview, and it will redirect you to the documentation of how to enable the monitoring for the cluster, and you can use the Azure Monitor to monitor the resources. So I think, yeah, so this cluster is also connected, and the final step, and we are done. I just need a minute or two. So this is the final step to connect. I hope I have given all the names correct. If not, then it's fine. I have already shown you. Awesome. So the GitOps is also done. Now, if I go to Azure portal and I go to the Kubernetes clusters, I should see demo CO. And in demo CO, if I go to GitOps policy, I should see a new policy. So this all happened. This is same, but we created via the UI, but this one we created via the CLI. So that's pretty much it about Azure Arc. I think play around with it, connect your infrastructure with Azure Arc. It's no harm. It runs agent. You can delete the namespace later, and then probably just play around it. Enable the monitoring. Use some of the Azure services. You can also query some of the things. I know everything I cannot show in one particular demo, but if you see open query, you can query based on tags, based on things, other things. So all these things are available as part of Azure Arc. Enable the monitoring, show how you are using the monitors, and any questions, you let me know. I can try to the best of my knowledge to answer them.